Here's your wrestling news for November 10th, 2020. And your headlines for today include Tony Chimmel and several others released by WWE. Reason for the release is revealed. Nia Jax injured yet another wrestler during WWE Raw. Two former WWE superstars are returning at Survivor Series for The Undertaker's farewell. Unexpected announcement causes WWE stock to shoot up. Karrion Kross provides very hopeful update while recovering from injury. What happened between Ryback and Dolph Ziggler? Why did they have an altercation? Former WWE champion discusses plans for WWE return. When WWE Thunderdome must leave Amway Center. Daniel Bryan opens up about misinformation and more. We're unfortunately starting today with release news, as the WWE has cut another famous name from the company. It's been confirmed that veteran announcer Tony Chimmel has parted ways with the company, though he wasn't alone. PW Insider have noted that WWE let even more staff go on Friday, who were mostly furloughed, but now they no longer have a job, and it's been confirmed that 10 to 15 people were cut and were mostly logistical and behind-the-scenes staffers. Chimmel joined the then WWF in 1989 as a behind-the-scenes technician before being promoted to SmackDown's ring announcer, where he came to be known as the voice of the Blue brand. Replaced by Justin Roberts down the line, Chimmel was moved to WWE's ECW brand in 2007, though he's perhaps most synonymous with his unique introduction for Edge. Chimmel even appeared at the 2017 Hall of Fame during Beth Phoenix's speech when the Glamazon mentioned her husband, and has worked segments with both Edge and Christian on WWE TV and the network in the past. Chimmel isn't the only veteran name cut, as Derek Castleman, director of venue merchandise and remote operations, was also released after being with the company since the early 90s. It makes sense that the venue merchandising department suffered cuts, as their services aren't currently needed, as with no live events happening, there's no merch for fans to buy. Super Luchas reports that Jerry Soto was also cut from his role on the Spanish-language commentary team, and the 39-year-old had worked in WWE since 2011. Soto replaced longtime commentator Hugo Savinovich behind the announcer's table, and after being furloughed on April 15th, posted a message recently to explain the situation. Officially, I don't have a job. I take a little of your time to tell you that I've been on temporary layoff, furlough, since April. Now the time has come to get another job, preferably acting. I write it here so that you have me in mind with employment opportunities. Thanks for your time. It's not the end, but another beginning. If you've lost your job too, patience, joy, and strength, and everyone a sanitized hug. Essentially, things have been summed up as WWE continuing to cut costs to maximize profits, and though fans may not know every name released on Friday, they all had a part in putting WWE together. It's never a good time to lose your job, and it's especially rough during the ongoing situation, and we hope that everyone cut from WWE, both on Friday and throughout 2020, can land on their feet. Over to Raw, as Mandy Rose appeared to suffer an injury this week when she was thrown from the ring by Nia Jax. As soon as she landed, the referee ran out to help her backstage so the trainers could check on her. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, and we can never count out the idea of this being a storyline injury, though it looks like she was hurt as she was going through the ropes, as she clutched to her arm and the referee assisted her in going backstage to be checked on. Rose is scheduled to team with Jax, Shayna Baszler, Lana, and Dana Brooke to represent Raw at Survivor Series, but whether the Golden Goddess makes it to the show is now up in the air. Survivor Series news next, as this year's show will be a send-off for The Undertaker, and 30 years after his debut at the very same pay-per-view, it's expected to be a star-studded affair. It's now been revealed that Savio Vega will be returning to WWE to be in attendance for the show, as Super Luchas were the first to report. Vega was with WWE from 1994 to 1999, and his connection to The Undertaker is that they were both members of the Bone Street Crew, a backstage group which included the likes of The Godfather, Yokozuna, Mr. Fuji, Rikishi, and more, which was made to be an opposition group to The Clique backstage. It's currently unclear if Vega will make an on-screen appearance, but it'll be certainly interesting to see what he has to say if he does. It certainly seems like a BSK reunion could be in the works, but whether that happens on screen remains to be seen. It's also known that the Phenom will appear as a guest on Stone Cold's Broken Skull Sessions, which the Deadman recently promoted on Twitter, promising good beer, good whiskey, great conversation. And whilst the two have faced off countless times before, it's similarly unclear if the Rattlesnake will have an on-screen presence at Survivor Series. In fact, there's little to no details on what WWE has planned for the Deadman this month. As though he might just be involved in a grand segment that marks the end of his career, WWE could always swerve the fans by doing something unthinkable. What we do know is that when the Phenom leaves the ring for good, he'll leave a huge gap in the company. And though nobody will be able to fully replace him, there's plenty of names who could become legendary stars in their own right. Braun Strowman is one such superstar with a bright future ahead of him, and in a recent interview with TV Insider, the former Universal Champion spoke about a message the Deadman gave him and Roman Reigns before the trio teamed at a live event in Madison Square Garden. He said, "It was unbelievable being out there with the Deadman in the most famous arena in the world. We get done with the match and he's talking with me and Roman. He goes, 'It's yours now, boys. Enjoy it.' Just hear those words and having him look me in the eye and shake my hands words can't describe it." The match referenced saw the trio of world champions team to face Kevin Owens, Elias, and Baron Corbin, which the Deadman, Reigns, and Strowman won. Both Reigns and Strowman have had incredible careers so far, which will only grow in the coming years, but of course there will never be another person quite like the Phenom. Now, this year has been difficult for WWE, but it looks like there might be a light at the end of the tunnel. When drug maker Pfizer announced that early data from their vaccine shows it's over 90% effective, this caused a huge boost to the stock market, and WWE benefited as well. According to the marker, WWE's stock rose 8.34% as it started yesterday at $38.93 a share and peaked at $42.56 a share. If this vaccine gets approval, then it may not be long before fans can once again attend live wrestling. And with WWE still hoping for WrestleMania 37 to take place in a sold-out Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, this certainly seems more likely if Pfizer's vaccine is trialed and approved. One man who could be headlining WrestleMania one day is Karrion Kross, who's provided an update on his return. After vacating the NXT title thanks to a separated shoulder, Kross has worked hard to get back and gave an update to his fans on Instagram saying he feels absurdly stronger than he did in July. Kross also teased that his return could be any second now or when fans least expect it, and whilst he's being coy with details about his return, the former champion certainly seems to be very hopeful about returning to the ring. Now, we all know that feuds in wrestling don't always happen in the ring, and when Dolph Ziggler posted a photo from his amateur wrestling days on Twitter, this caught the ire of Ryback. When the former WWE star responded with "bridges before," Ziggler hit back with a shot at both Ryback and Goldberg, saying the reasons Ryback was often called Goldberg was because everyone hated wrestling him. Ryback fired back, saying he never heard those chants over the sound of "feed me more," and, referring to Dolph as Ziggy Michaels, asked if the show-off will be heading to NXT next week, which he described as Paul's developmental program. Ryback hasn't returned to WWE since his 2016 departure and hasn't had anything good to say about Vince McMahon or the company, though he still has some friends, including Ziggler. There's no actual heat between the show-off and the big guy, and whilst they won't be stepping into the ring together, that won't stop them from trading some friendly fire online. Speaking of former superstars, Maryse left WWE TV when she and Miz announced she was pregnant with her second child, and fans are still waiting on her to return. Speaking on the Sam Roberts podcast recently, the former Divas champion certainly teased a return, saying she always comes back, and pointed out how she was able to main event SmackDown against Brie Bella on the September 11, 2018 SmackDown, 5 months after she'd given birth to the It couple's first child, Monroe Sky Mizanin. With that said, Maryse pointed out that she has 2 children and a family now, but with her husband being one of the biggest stars on Raw, as well as Mr. Money in the Bank, it seems that Maryse is ready to return, but only when the time is right. We are entering the Thunderdome next, as WWE's days in the Amway Center are numbered, and now we know exactly when they have to leave. The Orlando Magic have made it clear that they'll need their venue back next month, as PW Insider reported, the company's production team currently needs to clear out the venue no later than December 5th due to the Orlando Magic needing the facility as the NBA is hoping to launch their next season during that time frame. Vaccine or no vaccine, the WWE needs to have left the Amway Center by December 5th, and time will tell where the company will go next. PW Insider also noted that the company has several states they've been looking into, as Texas and Illinois could soon be the next home of the company's state-of-the-art Thunderdome, or even a different location in Florida, which would make sense given how many superstars have residency in the state. Of course, everything in regards to the Thunderdome depends on the current situation and how things go with the Pfizer drug, but no matter what, we know for a fact that the WWE won't be in the Amway Center this time next month. Whilst WWE has the Amway Center though, they'll continue hosting Raw, and next week's show will see 2 huge title matches take place. Raw Tag Team Champions The New Day will defend their gold against Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, while WWE Champion Randy Orton will also put his title on the line. On last night's show, Adam Pearce informed the Viper that he'll be defending against Drew McIntyre on next week's show, and we'll have to see who leaves with championship gold when next week's edition of Raw is finished. More social media news next, as some superstars use their online platform to speak on public matters, like Sami Zayn and the recent election, and now Daniel Bryan has had some interesting things to say online. He posted, "Opinion: we should invest in programs that teach people how to identify misinformation and how to properly research whether something is true. Many people, myself included, would benefit. Without such programs, young people may struggle to determine truth their entire lives." It's no secret that claims of fake news have gotten even more prominent in recent years, with claims even being made against facts that some people don't agree with. Hopefully this program Bryan believes in will come to light soon enough, as both in politics and out of it, people should be forming their views on the truth, even if it's something they don't want to believe. And we're ending with Impact Wrestling news, as Kylie Rae recently revealed that she no longer considers herself a wrestler, but the company may not feel the same way. PW Insider is reporting that though Kylie has effectively retired from wrestling, she still remains a part of Impact's roster. We'll have to see what the future holds for the 28-year-old, who could always return to the ring when she feels the time is right, but for now, Impact Wrestling is still considering her a wrestler, despite what she's said.